blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to bleed. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, today is kind of emotional, girl. Hold on a second. Let me show you why. All right, because we are packing up. Ooh, moving always makes me emotional. So now I already moved, and now I gotta help my daughter move. I used to sit right to this table here, and I would be so over passionate, be banging on the table. Y'all remember when I was doing my drawing and painting and reviewing of wrongful convictions, girl? Whoo, this makes me emotional. Anyways, let's get back to today's story. Okay, so the reason that I'm coming on today is because I found another story. I actually put my alerts on. I'm gonna start digging these stories out. Actually, hold on. I think does the lighting look better from that way? I think it does. But now y'all can see all my imperfection. But I never claim to be perfect, right? And we are packing, so you might see some little stuff up in the background. But I think I'm gonna put I just downloaded something called Newsbreak on my tablet. I have it already on my phone. And this news app, honestly, shows me some stories I'm really interested in. Like, for real, honestly, in real life, I be trying to avoid the news sometimes. Like, I get so sick and overwhelmed with all of that programming type news ish. So I'm interested in a different type of news that people just don't report on, right? Like, such as wrongful convictions. But this app here is actually suggesting me a lot of content about the topic I enjoy. So it's called Newsbreak. Y'all could go check that out if you want. For me, it is working. It is good for a content creator. Because if you are looking for stories within your niche, because they always claim you got to niche down, niche down, niche down. But girl, I'm a multifaceted person. I have several passions, and justice is not my only passion, right? I have a passion of art. I have a passion of family, right? And I have a passion of, trying to be an entrepreneur and stuff like that. So I have several different passions. But I said that I do need to get back to my topic at hand of wrongful convictions. So I came across this story here. Okay, so I'm going to read this. Black man who spent 44 years in prison before he was exonerated gets record 25 million settlement. Now y'all know 44 did a story on no, that wasn't Willie Williams, was it? Yeah, it was Willie Williams. I can link that in the description box. He spent 44 years in prison, and then just a couple of days ago he was exonerated completely after his sentence over, girl. After he done served that. But then they let him off of parole, right? And he's 79 years old. That had me so aggravated and emotional because it's like they just taking people's lives. Like, wrong this much. If y'all getting it wrong this many times, are y'all ever getting it right? Like, come on now. But I seen this here. An all-white jury convicted Ronnie Long in North Carolina on October 1st, 1976, after he was accused of R-ing a white woman in Concord. October 1st, his birthday, 1976. That's the year that my sister was born. But October 1st is the day before Marcello's birthday. So they both, and Marcello's birthday, October 2nd, is actually National Wrongful Conviction Day. So if y'all claim wrongful convictions don't happen, girl, get over. He had to do something to be in prison. He had to have done something, girl. So for wrongful convictions to not exist, why they got a whole national day for it? And why is they giving this man 10 million, 25 million? I'm sorry. And why are these stories coming up? And why are you freeing these people after their lives are they're in the later parts of their lives? Like, girl, I believe those people that actually played a part in people's wrongful convictions like that, which most of them probably have already passed on. So it's hard to really bring them and hold they darn feet to the fire. But as much as you can, they should be. Like the people that's playing in Marcello's case, they still some of them still around. They should be held to the fire because you're doing this. You're not ruining just that person's life. It's a cycle. It's a domino effect. I got a video about that, about what this wrongful conviction caused as domino effect in my life. Some good dominoes knocked over, some bad dominoes knocked over because of it. But they should have to pay. You should not, just like they wanted them to pay to the utmost for these crimes. That's a crime. Stealing the whole human life is a crime and should be punished. Because of a lot of it, you cause people's families to be messed up. You cause generations of hurt and harm in these families. Some people are alienated from their kids and their grandkids because of the things you've done. There should be consequences for you. And then there was no compassion felt for these people, no leniency. So there also should be no leniency for you. They held no leniency for Marcello Jackson. Even if he had committed that wrongful conviction concocted crime, they still had no leniency in the fact that he would have been a first time offender. And he was so young that he could have been rehabilitated. No, they threw him out, took him out to the trash dump, and left him to rot. So they as well should have to be paid. See, you hear these overturning, but do you hear of anybody? I probably got to research that. Is anybody paying the price for these wrongful convictions? Well, maybe us, the taxpayers, are paying the price. But I mean, the people, the players in the game, are they paying the price for what they've done to people? Okay, an all-white jury convicted Ronnie Long, and I've read that. Okay, a North Carolina man who spent 44 years. I'm sorry, this is by. Ooh, I can't say her name, girl, or his name. I don't know. By M-I-N Yvonne. So Min Yvonne. Minyvonne Burke. Min Yvonne. Okay. A black North Carolina man who spent 44 years in prison after he was wrongfully convicted for R-ing a prominent white woman has been awarded a historic $25 million settlement more than 3 years after he was exonerated. Ronnie Long, 68, up in age again. Marcello will be about in his 60s almost by the time he's freed from his wrongful conviction. If the story doesn't break, he has about another 13 to 14 more years, and he will consequently be about that age. Okay, settled his civil lawsuit with the city of Concord, about 25 miles northeast of Charlotte, for $22 million. The city said in a news release Tuesday the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations had previously settled for $3 million. Oh wow. According to Duke Law School of Wrongful Convictions Clinic. Why they got that if they don't happen? Why Duke Law School have a wrongful convictions clinic if it don't happen, girl? They happen. They happen all the time. But we brush it under the rug. And we don't care because it's not us. Okay, the clinic, which represented Long, said the settlement is the second largest wrongful conviction settlement recorded. Wow. Let's continue reading. Okay, let me show you his He looked pretty good, girl. 68. Oh, sir, you look real good for your age. Yes. Okay. Ronnie Long stands in the hallway. Oh, this was in 2007, but he still looked good for his age, girl. In a hallway at the Abel Marble Correctional, Marley, something like that. Abel Marley Correctional Institution east of Charlotte, North Carolina in 2007. Okay, it's obviously a celebratory day today, knowing that Ronnie's going to have his means met for the rest of his life with this settlement. But they took his life, the best part of his life, the whole first part of his life. It's been a long road to get to this point. So that's a great outcome. Clinical professor Jamie Long's criminal Long's criminal attorney said in a phone interview today, phone interview Tuesday, have we found justice in this case? Absolutely not. No amount of money will ever compensate Ronnie for all that he lost. He didn't lose it, they stole it. All that they stole. I put that in there, but that's what it should say. But this is a big step forward for him, Lau said. Okay, and then I also want to say no amount of money could pay you back for what the wrongful incarcerated person and their entire family went through. Because you need to be paying back them children's whose father you took. You need to be paying back the spouse who you disrupted their whole freaking goddamn life. You need to be paying back the mother whose child you took, the father whose child you took, and the whole community who could have benefited from, because these wrongful convictions are happening to law-abiding citizens. So the community suffered because you took, rather than taking out who's committing detriment against your community, you're arresting innocent people and leaving the other person, because whoever did R this woman was left out in the community. Don't forget that part. They was left to R other people while you put this innocent man in prison forever, right? Or meant to be forever. So really, I see any amount, even this $25 million, this is nothing more of like when you go to a funeral, or if someone has a loved one pass and you send flowers. You know them flowers can't, you know those flowers cannot replace or even do anything for what this person is going through, right? But it's like a gesture of condolence, right? That's what it is. It's almost like it's just the gesture of, because there's no amount of money that could pay you back for what they've taken, what they stole, not what he lost. He didn't lose his life. They stole his life. But there are those that don't get a dime because their state has laws that there's no compensation for wrongful convictions. Some states, yes, you can wrongfully be convicted, just like in Kevin Strickland state. I believe that was Ohio. They was like, okay, you're free to go, sir, after, like, what was it? How long he did on his 50-year sentence? I believe he did 42 years on his 50-year wrongful conviction. And it was like, sir, you're free to go. And that was it. That was the door open. Now, that's worth a lot, to be honest, for them to just even open the door, because there's so many wrongful convicted people that still will never see the light of freedom. And it's sad. But when you do that to somebody and they get no compensation, you're really demeaning and ultimately beyond what you've already been demeaned their life and reduced their life down to the lowest non-common denominator, to be nothing less than scum. You're doing that even more when you give them nothing for what you've done to them, right? Whew. Girl, yes, this is I know this got to be my purpose because I am very passionate about this. It's obvious a celebratory day. Okay. We found justice in this case. Absolutely not. No amount of money will ever compensate Ronnie for all that he lost. But this is a big step forward for him, Lau said. The city also issued a rare apology to Long. Why don't the city start looking into some other people's cases? Now, you know this is not a freak accident. You know if there's one, there's many more. We are deeply remorseful. I don't think they really are, but they'll say that. Because if you're remorseful, you would free the other people. For the past wrongs that caused tremendous harm to Mr. Long, his family, friends, and community. Mr. Long suffered the extraordinary loss of his freedom and the prison conditions. I'm adding this. So this is my little insert. The inhumane prison conditions he had to live in as a innocent man, mistreated, beat down, neglected, not even basic human needs met in prison for something he didn't do. Suffered extraordinary loss of his freedom and a substantial portion of his life because of this conviction, the city said. He wrongly served 44 years, 3 months, and they got money for him being there. Taxpayers paid for that. And if we had to care more about criminal justice reform, which I hate that they call it criminal justice reform because it should be justice reform because it's for us. It's not for criminals. It is for us. In case you are thrusted in that system, which is very easy, you are more likely to get wrongfully convicted than win the lottery, girl. So if you win the lottery and be wrongfully convicted, you better hope that justice system is intact. That's like your helicopter coming down and your parachute don't work, girl. You want to make sure that parachute has not been poorly manufactured. He wrongly served 44 years, 3 months, and 17 days in prison for a crime he did not commit. While there are no measures to fully restore to Mr. Long and his family all that is taken from them. Through this agreement, we are doing everything in our power to right the past wrongs and take responsibility. The apology continued, and I believe they probably don't want to look in other cases and see if they wrongfully convicted, because now if that set the standard, and they had to pay out 25 million for every wrongfully convicted person in North Carolina. You think they want to open that door? That's opening Pandora's door. That's why they're going to act like this is a freak accident. It's not. It happens all the time. Everyday court happening, a percentage of those people are being wrongfully convicted, or they're being forced to plea. Because honestly, if you staring down a conviction, this is not legal advice. This is save your ass advice. So don't take this advice. Take it to your legal person and let them tell you. But it's better to take the plea. Me and Marcello sitting back wishing he had just took that dang on 17-year plea. He would have been out almost a decade ago. Almost a decade ago. And he could have, well, at that point, it would have been over. He couldn't have fought for his innocence once he, well, I don't know if you can, I guess you can still fight for your innocence. You were basically forced to, take ownership of something you didn't do because, they were ransoming it in front of your life. I mean, like, what is that when you use something of somebody's to leverage So they were dangling his life. Like, if you want to keep your life, take this plea. You want your life? You like seeing your children? You want to see your child graduate? You want to see your grandchild born? Do you not want to see your wife with someone else? Do you want to see your grandparents before they pass away? That's what they do. Take the plea. So there's many people that took plea bargains that are innocent in prison. Okay. The apology continued, but it don't mean a lot. I mean, it means something, but it don't mean a lot. We are hopeful this can begin the healing process for Mr. Long and our community, and that together we can move forward while learning valuable lessons and ensuring nothing like this happens again. Girl, they love to use that. I'm sure it happened again. I'm sure it did. And are they, is the, that does bring, because I study wrongful convictions, many of them have the same common denominator factors. They have factors that are just about the same. It's almost the same playbook. If you listen to almost any wrongfully convicted person's story, they're going to have some things very, it's consistent how they wrongfully convict people. And I do believe wrongful convictions are wrongful convictions on purpose, because they're not following the rules. They're cutting too much corners. They're willing too many wheels. They're dealing too many deals to get the truth. And y'all know, like I say, the truth needs no manipulation. You want the truth, keep your hand off of it, and the truth comes out. Search for the truth, but don't manipulate, don't force, don't, like in Chicago, torture Justice Center, where they were torturing them people into taking convictions. Like, torture justice system, I'm sorry. But that's not going to arrive you to truth. So are they learning from these mistakes? They really should be, but I don't know. I think that's just flashy words they putting out there. But anyways, guys, another story. Crazy. It's crazy how they do my life. What Marvin Gaye said that. The way they do my life, yes, it is crazy. My tablet just cut off. So I guess that was all all I could do on that story. But I at least got it through, and thank God God allowed this battery to stay, intact until I finished that story. So he must wanted me to get it out. See, it's going to bed. Going to bed. All right, guys. I will talk to y'all later. It's your girl Cadillac.